Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey. The OTAs are underway for the Dallas Cowboys, and there have been some at least interesting notes coming out of OTAs, for the most part, on the injury side of things, which is always fairly intriguing when it comes to the Cowboys. First, some positive stuff here around Damonte Kazee, who, I'm not going to lie, I was at least a little bit concerned about him coming back and being fully cleared off of the torn Achilles he suffered in October. That's a pretty tight time frame. Despite that, Kazee was actually a full participant at OTAs. And that's, I think, a really good sign and a really good note for the Cowboys, given how thin they are at the safety position. Now, I'm not going to be out here expecting or anticipating or banking on 2018 Damonte Kazee. If you get this level of play, if you get a fourth in terms of the productions, interceptions, and pass breakups-wise out of Kazee when you're paying him basically the vet minimum, that would be a fantastic signing. But it is a really good sign that Kazee is out there at OTAs already being able to work and be in pads, or not the pads, but the shells and everything. Because the guys behind him are not trustworthy. Jerron Kearse and Darian Thompson and Steven Parker and Israel Mukuamu, yikes, that's not good. And I only played 4 games last year. I don't think you get quite as good 2018 Damonte Kazee. But for a defense that I think, and I'm not quite sure how accurate that will end up being based on Dan Quinn's comments, but I think is going to run plenty of cover 1 and cover 3, you'll want someone who can handle that true free safety role. And I believe Damonte Kazee can be that guy for the Cowboys. So I'm feeling pretty good about his presence already being out there in OTAs. That's some really good news to get here in late May. Deal alert! Congratulations to the first 100 people who comment on today's video. The first 100 of you get to download the Newsbreak app for free. So I'm going to respond to the first 100 people with the link, chatsports.com/CowboysNB. The Newsbreak app is fantastic for local news, weather, and politics stuff. If you're like me, you probably haven't done a great job of keeping up with what's going on in your local community because sports is life, ball is life, if you will. But the Newsbreak app helps break that bubble at least a little bit. So if you're among the first 100 to comment, congratulations. I'll get that link for you guys in the comment section. It's also in the description. It's, chatsports.com/CowboysNB. Don't let me down. Go download the app today. Again, that link one more time for you. Check the comments and the description. It's chatsports.com/CowboysNB. Let's continue along with some more injury notes around the Cowboys, or I should say recovery from injury notes. Tyron Smith and Collins, at least publicly, it seems like everything is heading in the correct direction. Of course, Tyron Smith missed most of last year with his back and neck issues. Collins, meanwhile, missed the entire year with the hip injury, in which he allegedly wasn't in the best of shape entering the season, which was a whole different conversation to have. Now, the hype, which has also come from Stephen Jones in the past, isn't just coming from Collins, Tyron Smith, but rather from their quarterback, Dak Prescott himself, coming back from his own injury. Here's what Dak Prescott had to say. Quote, "I've been rehabbing with those guys all off-season long, so I know the hard work they put in to get to where they are. I feel confident about their health, and just to know that they're in the best shape they have ever been in their career, both of them." Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what time of the year it is? It is best shape of life season. I love this time of the year. Guy coming off injury. I'm in the best shape of my life. Guy who was fat last year. I'm in the best shape of my life. Guy who is currently fat. I'm in the best shape of my life. No matter what, you're in great shape. I myself am in the best shape of my life. And quick aside, much like, if we're being honest here, probably both Tyron Smith and Collins, that last part is a damn lie. I am not in the best shape of my life. And in reality, Tyron Smith and Collins probably aren't either, especially Tyron, because they are older and they're coming off of an injury. It's an annoying cliche. It's really not all that accurate. And the message of it of, hey, they're in a good spot, I get. But I'll tell you what, I am willing to bet that when Tyron Smith was in his early to mid-20s, he was in better shape than what he is as he begins to turn 30 and older. That's just the reality of life. Regardless, it is a good sign that the Cowboys are hyping up, or at least trying to hype up, Tyron Smith and La'el Collins, because the Cowboys need them. The offensive line was just decimated by injuries last year. Both centers missed time. The stud right guard missed time. Tyron and La'el Collins basically missed the entire year. Your tackle 3, Cam Irving, missed most of the year. Tackle 4, Brandon Knight, he got hurt as well. You were down to tackle 5 at points last year. That's incredibly rare for the Dallas Cowboys. But even though I'm pretty sure Tyron Smith will miss at least 3 games, I do feel better about La'el Collins entering this season. So what is your confidence level, everyone watching right now, in Tyron Smith and La'el Collins? Rate this for me on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you've got no confidence, 10 being you've got the most. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down, and get your votes in. You guys are watching the Cowboys Report, and we've got a coaching hire to break down for you guys now. A name you probably have heard of. Ben McAdoo, the former New York Giants head coach, who was great in the first year, and then it was a disaster after that. Now, the role for McAdoo is the rather rare consultant role, which my suspicion for the Cowboys is going to be, come hang out with your buddy Mike McCarthy. Not like he's going to be replacing Kellen Moore anytime soon. Maybe Mike McCarthy is trying to kickstart the NFL's version of the Nick Saban school for coaches who can't coach good and want to do other stuff good too as well. Now, McAdoo's recent jobs, right? You'll see a trend. Green Bay from 2006 to 2013, 2 different roles, tight ends coach and OC. Was the Giants OC, 2014, 2015. Became the Giants head man for 2 years. Got fired in year 2, then took some time off, was the Jaguars quarterbacks coach, and quick aside, he's still getting paid by Jacksonville because it wasn't just a 1-year deal. Coaching contracts are guaranteed, so now he gets to come to Dallas with good old buddy Mike McCarthy and be a consultant. Which, okay, it's fine, I guess, in the end, but I think this next part's important. This is yet another Mike McCarthy hiring his buddy, because McAdoo and McCarthy have had a long tenure together. They were with the Saints in 2004. 2005, both with the 49ers. McCarthy goes to Green Bay. He brings McAdoo along with him from 2006 through 2013. So I got some thoughts on this, but I want to hear from you guys first. Do you like the hire of Ben McAdoo? Get your votes in for me right now in the comments section. Type in Y for yes you do, or type in N for no you do not. Let me know what you guys think. Now, in the end, I don't think the McAdoo hire will really have much of an impact. He's a consultant. Like, maybe he'll chime in every now and then, try and offer some different ideas, be a sounding board for someone like a McCarthy or one of the other coaches on the staff right now. It's not going to have a major impact. He's a consultant. He's not the new OC or quarterbacks coach. He barely even has a truly defined job. But the reason why I don't care for it all that much is because this just reeks of nepotism and the good old boy network of, yeah, Ben McAdoo got fired as the Giants head coach, and at some point he should have gotten another job, and I get that. But he's just going back to work with one of his buddies in Mike McCarthy. And there is a very fine line between hiring coaches that you know and like because of the chemistry and the trust, and you think you know that they're good coaches, and just bringing in your buddies and doing that over and over again. And I worry about that from that perspective. Is this just a good old, McCarthy helping out one of his buddies saying, yeah, come be a consultant, hang around, not do all that much, but it's cool because we know each other? I don't care for those things all that much. And even though I don't think McCarthy's in danger of getting fired or anything, I've seen it far too many times in the NFL, the college ranks, to wherever, where the head coach gets the job, hires his friends and his buddies, and it turns out those actually weren't the best hires. I think that's a fair accusation with the Mike Nolan hiring as the defensive coordinator. That was a complete disaster in year 1 for the Cowboys. They went outside the coaching connection there with Dan Quinn, but I'm worried it's a little bit more of the same from that perspective of bringing in Ben McAdoo. You didn't need to add him. You added him because he's buddies in the end with Mike McCarthy. All the latest Cowboys news and rumors is available right here with more in-depth analysis than what you'll get from the simple Twitter push notification or whatever. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe. It's youtube.com/CowboysTV. One more injury note here around Blake Jarwin, who he was supposed to have the breakout year last year, and then he ends up tearing his ACL, and he's still not quite 100% back. Now, I'm not overly surprised by that one, but like Blake Jarwin says, you don't need to rush him, right? Here's what he said. Quote, "I'm coming along, getting close. There's really no reason, I guess, to rush into it. Just make sure that I'm feeling good, and I feel good. I'll just keep pushing along, and I anticipate day one of training camp being ready to roll." And that almost kind of sounds like Jarwin is itching to get back out there, but the medical staff is trying to ease things up and take things a little bit slower there. Again, I think Jarwin was right. There's no reason to rush him back. It's OTAs. The offensive scheme isn't really all that different from what it's been with Blake Jarwin since Kellen Moore is still the OC. So because of that, you don't have to push and risk further injury. You can take your time, and as long as he's back out there day one of camp and in shape, I'm not too concerned there. Of course, Blake Jarwin will have to earn that job this year because Dalton Schultz played pretty darn well in 2020. So pick a tight end for me. Type DS for Dalton Schultz, or yes, you can type in BJ for Blake Jarwin. Get your votes in for me in the comments section. So let's talk Schultz then, right? And I was pleasantly surprised, especially after those first couple games when he couldn't catch a cold, it seemed like. He finished the year with 63 catches, 615 yards, 4 scores as well. My expectation is that the tight end production might dip a little bit this year because I think they'll be able to push it deeper downfield to Gallup and Lamb and Cooper with the offensive line being better. But I feel fine in the end about the tight end position. Is it the best unit on this team? No, absolutely not. Am I concerned about it, though? I mean, I see Blake Jarwin, Dalton Schultz. That's fine. And that is good enough when in reality, they're going to be what? Your 4th or 5th guy who has the most touches in the passing game? That's not a huge concern for me. So whether it's Schultz or Jarwin, at least for this year, I feel fine about where the Cowboys are at as it relates to the tight end position. But of course, hopefully, you see Blake Jarwin get healthy sooner than later.